Hamilton, barreling towards a sustainable future.
Wastewater is any water that has been affected in quality. This water can be from homes, businesses, and industry sources, or any water that has been affected by agriculture activities, surface runoff, or sewer inflow. According to the Bay Area Restoration Council, for more than 100 years, Hamilton has been exposed to industrial and urban development. Specifically, Hamilton's past has now caused environmental degradation in the ecosystem, specifically in Hamilton Harbor. The Bay Area Council states that Hamilton Harbor receives discharge from 3 wastewater treatment plants and runoff from urban areas. A good example of a wastewater treatment plant is Woodward Plant. The plant was first built in 1860 and since then supplied water to all Hamiltonians. According to the City of Hamilton, the Woodward Avenue treatment plant has an average daily capacity of 409 million liters. The facility is a secondary conventional activated sludge plant with sludge dewatering and digestion. This treatment plant has 5 primary and 3 secondary anaerobic digesters, which are a series of biological processes in which microorganisms break down biodegradable material in the absence of oxygen. The digestion process uses a heated biological process to reduce the volume of organic matter and destroy pathogens. This process produces methane gas and biosolids. Then, the methane gas is used as a fuel or converted into electricity. But local treatment plants process a lot of sewage, releasing the treated water into the harbor. The real problem is the volume of treated wastewater entering the harbor. It can overload the system. Also, dangerous chemicals entering the sewers are adding to this problem by overflowing and negatively affecting Hamilton Harbor's water quality. Many parts of Hamilton have adapted the combined sewer system. Sewer system collects both domestic sewage from sink drains and toilets and stormwater runoff in a single pipe, called a combined sewer. This mixture, called combined sewage, is sent to the Woodward Avenue wastewater treatment plant for treatment. During small rainstorms, all combined sewage receives full treatment before it is discharged into Hamilton Harbor. But during heavy rainstorms, the Bay Area Restoration Council states that the excess water can cause excess combined sewage that the sewer can't handle. In some cases, the rainfall is too heavy that the system and the tanks will become overloaded. When this happens, the excess wastewater will be discharged directly into Hamilton's natural waterways, such as in Hamilton Harbor. These discharge points are called combined sewer overflows and are necessary to minimize system overloads, which can result in residential basement flooding, which is a very common occurrence in many households in Hamilton. There needs to be a way to address these problems by implementing infrastructure surrounding the communities in Hamilton. Our team suggests implementing rainwater barrels to combat this problem.
A rain barrel is a small storage tank that collects rainwater from rooftop gutters, downspouts, and stores it for later use, for example in the garden. Most of the time when it rains frequently, it's much easier to keep the garden plant sufficiently watered. However, when it doesn't rain, the plants require hose water. Rain barrels collect precipitation that lands on the rooftops during rain events, so it can be used instead of hose water for watering plants on days without rain. This leads to a reduction in the water bill, the amount of fossil fuel energy used to supply potable hose water, and the amount of water shed. Rain barrels come in variable size ranges in capacity from around 50 to 25,000 US gallons. Many of the modern modular systems are often scalable, like the 50-gallon rainwater module. The larger size barrels are commonly used in areas where there is no access to a centralized water supply. Some of the factors that you should consider when selecting a tank size include average amount of rainfall, intended use of rainfall water, surface area that drains into the tank, and desired security of supply.
In many places, harvesting rainwater has been seen as a viable alternative of water conservation. One such place is the Gansu province of China. Gansu is one of the driest provinces in China, where the average annual rainfall is about 300 millimeters. 60% of this annual rainfall occurs in the 3 months between July and September. These factors limit surface and groundwater usage for agriculture, and as a result, the people of Gansu suffer from inadequate supplies of drinking water. In 1988, pilot projects were launched to demonstrate and test the effectiveness of capturing rainwater. Positive results from these demonstrations led to the implementation of Rainwater Catchment Project by the Gansu provincial government in 1955. Much of the rainwater collecting barrels were given to households and farmers and were far less expensive to implement in comparison to other rainwater capturing technologies. This project has proven successful in supplying drinking water for 1.3 million people. As of 2000, a total of 2,183,000 rainwater barrels had been built in Gansu, supplying more than 1.97 million people. Using rainwater barrels have become an important option for Gansu province to supply drinking water, develop rain-fed agriculture, and improve the ecosystem in dry areas. Since then, 17 provinces in China have built up to 5.6 million barrels. This supplied more than 15 million people with drinking water and irrigated 1.2 million hectares of land.
Like Gansu, Hamilton residents being the main focus of the action in reducing water pressure on their local wastewater treatment facility forces them into becoming more conscious about what they're doing with their wastewater. Rainwater barrels can be as simple as using the garden hose while being conscious that you're not using freshly treated water. Currently, Hamilton's wastewater treatment facility will treat 40% of the volume of Hamilton Harbor each year. A rainwater barrel can hold various amounts. For example, some common ones can hold from 208 to 500 liters. Initial costs of rainwater barrels are around $90 to $300 and can be compensated through local governments that want to provide incentives for wise water use. The other way that Hamilton residents will benefit is from saving on their water bill. The reduction of pressure on the wastewater treatment facility doesn't stop with the volume of water that goes down the drain. It also has to do with how many pollutants make it there, and that they have to process with chemicals like chlorine to remove from the wastewater. Because of their non-point source origins, the pollutants can be hard to pinpoint. Some types of pollutants are oils, road salts, and animal waste, to name a few. Instead of running off the pavement to a storm drain or straight to Hamilton's waterways, it will be collected and distributed into a permeable surface for natural filtration.
Most people think rain barrels are expensive, but they're actually really affordable. You can construct one on your own for less than $15. Next time when it rains, think about how much water you could be saving up in a water barrel. For every inch of rain that falls on a 1,000 square foot roof, you can gather about 600 gallons of water. By using water barrels for non-potable water needs like landscaping, you can help reduce the strain on municipal water supplies while lowering your water bill. Every year, the average household spends up to $500 on water and sewer bills, according to EPA. If rain barrels are used rather than the city water for plant irrigation, we can save money. Water plants during peak months of summer with collective rainwater will allow most homeowners to save about 1,300 gallons of water. It has been estimated by EPA that 40% of a household's total water usage is dedicated to watering plants and lawns. Rain barrels can help preserve water quality by collecting water runoff from rooftops before it runs into the sewers and storing it for later use, such as gardening purposes.